Hey guys, grow the farm up when office work just piles up and you want to run and hide from it. Come over to the shop and start working on trucks. I need some help from you guys. You guys got to tell me what model truck this is and I'll close the hood. But just back from a fresh overhaul. I mean, out of frame overhaul. At least that's what the bill was for. And I mean, God, they couldn't even replace this hose. Are you kidding me? So I've got to go through and replace some of this stuff. But, brand new radiator, new turbo, obviously. I mean, it got a new head. Should have put PDI stuff on, but honestly, just getting the truck in and out. But this is just wanted to show you guys here. We got a little project going on because guess what? It is like 22 below zero with a 35-mile-an-hour wind, and you really don't want me conditioning your seed in 22 below zero, especially with beans. It will crack them, and it actually affects the quality a little bit, in my humble opinion. So thought I'd come over here and work on this thing and hide out from my office work, because God, who wants to do that? I did this yesterday. Put this brand new Legacy seat in, and let's take a look. This is I think it's a 1998. And you guys help me out. I think this is either a 330 or a 377. In 2001 they changed this dash, I think. But you guys let me know, and I'll close the hood, and you can see it's kind of like their first attempt at. You can see they put some fenders on. I don't know. Can I put a big, like 379 or 389 hood on the front of this? But so I thought I'd go to the work, put the inverter in. And that's what we're doing this afternoon. I got to get another one of those lights, of course, odd size, but believe it or not, I found one. So that's cool. That really lights this whole cab up a lot better. But I've been driving the other one, and I would consider this the better truck. It's tighter. I mean, everything's better. The kingpins are new. I mean, it literally just got rebuilt. I mean, I'm talking like $45,000 rebuilt. And I'm not saying that to, I don't know, brag about it or make it hurt or complain about it. And just, you guys that know trucks know. Okay, about 45 grand is, we rebuilt damn near everything that we could, basically. I mean, a truck's like a boat or a house. It's never done, But this is pretty cool. I gotta say, I really like this Legacy seat, man. This truck's good enough that it needed it. I really did not expect these trucks to run this well. I mean, Peterbilts are just remarkable trucks all the way around. So what we're doing here today, we're putting in this 1,000-watt inverter just because I had it. I should probably put a 2,000 in, but whatever. So here's what we're gonna need. I got a little 4-gauge or 2-gauge 4-gauge wire here. I figured 4 probably work. About 6 foot of each. What we're gonna do is we're gonna run some wires. I've got this one off here, and I've already got my breaker. Let me zoom out here. I've already got my breaker put in, and so I think I'm just going to use that same. It's 100 amp. I always turn those up, and then we'll just mount this somewhere in here, and see it's got 3 electric plug-ins, and then I'm probably gonna mount the television on that wall and sleep with my head this way, or I should say whoever the lucky guy is that gets to drive this, because there's all your sleeper controls. right above your head there, and lights and everything. That side doesn't have that, so you're probably sleeping this way. So then what we'll do, because there's only battery boxes on one side. I mean, some of the 377s I've seen, the tanks sit further back and the steps are the battery box. That would be a way much better look. But also, I've got the plasma cutter out here. I've got to torch this whole thing off. And I mean, because it wasn't done quite right. It's, see, whoever did it welded it out here on the angle iron. You can even see they're starting to bow. Yeah, and this fifth wheel is only like 42 inches. I need to get it up 6 inches. So I'm going to cut all of this out of here, basically. Well, not this, but I'm going to cut this. And if you guys have never used one of these plasma cutters, I highly suggest getting one if you do any kind of projects. I mean, it literally just make a torch obsolete. I mean, it's the best thing ever. But I mean, you know, look, it got all new drums, and I mean, this rear end got completely rebuilt. We even put some new springs in. The cases came apart. You know, the drive line up there, that one, the main front drive came apart. This rear differential we didn't take apart. Oil looked good. New bags all the way around. You know, this has not been painted yet. Eventually I'll come through and I'll paint some of this. And you can tell it was a work truck. I've owned it for about 4 months, and it's basically been in the shop being rebuilt, that cat motor, for like 2.5, so I really haven't got a chance to use it. Air tanks, I am looking forward to using it. You know, here's the other side of the raceway. I'll just race those wires through this way, and then I'll just punch a hole right here, because there's about 6 inches that's not mattress up there in the bunk. We'll put the wires straight up through there, and then the TV will mount on the inside up there. Now, it would be a way much better look on this truck if, oops, remember, it's an old truck. If the tanks were set back on the rail, and then what I did is I took and put a like toolbox step over here, and on the driver's side like a battery box step. But this is the design, so there's plenty of room on this rail to move stuff around. You know, I need to know if this truck is worth doing it to or not. The guts are, tell me what kind of, I'm gonna close the hood. You guys tell me what make and model of Peterbilt this is. It's got the Unibilt sleeper. Got it, probably says it right on the side. You guys are gonna be like, you idiot. Okay, got it at a place called Peterbilt Ford in Grand Island, Nebraska. It was probably purchased new, and you know, there's my federal annual inspection. But see, it's a Unibilt, so I mean, that is the same sleeper that is on every 389, 379 that you see out there. I mean, that sleeper, really, they've changed the inside a lot, but that's a really well known and actually an awesome sleeper. I've never seen one this good. I didn't think the sleeper, I didn't think a sleeper from a 1996 semi-truck would be in such nice shape that like I'd actually want to spend the night in it, but it is. I mean, I think I want to leave it stock. So what is this? See, it's still got the hood. You know, it's trying to be a hood truck, but it's got these weird, not necessarily Kenworth T600 looking, but kind of fenders here. And so it's kind of, you know, is it Peterbilt's first attempt at an aero truck? Is it a 330? Is it a 377? What is it? I'd really like to know. And you trucking guys on the trucking channels would know. And like I said, over here, you know, that battery box really should be right here underneath with the battery box step, and those tanks slid back, in my humble opinion. But they were pulling step deck, so you know that's why their fifth wheels are so low. You know, it needs to be jacked up. But I think that's standard Peterbilt equipment. I've seen that on the back of a lot of these Unibuilt sleepers. I mean, these are just grain hauling, you know, just machines. The guys grab them up and turn them into that. But you know, so I'm gonna weld these. That's 6 inches. That's how high I need to go up. Right onto the frame here, and lift the fifth wheel up 6 inches, because all my other trucks are at about 48 inches aired up, and you need to be to get up and over conveyors and stuff, so that your landing gear doesn't destroy people's equipment. You need to jack your fifth wheel up on almost every grain hauling trailer out there. Just a FYI. But, so I mean, let's take one more look. I mean, are we? I think it's a 330, but a really nice one, or maybe I'm just missing it and it's a 377. The pictures on Google look the same. I love that sticker. That was in here when I bought it. I mean, I immediately talked to my assistant, like, how do we get 100 of those and put that in every single thing that I own? But totally cool, you know. I mean, everything just manual. I love it. There's just not an electric sensor on the thing. I mean, other than, you know, I got oil pressure. I do need to add some gauges. Generally heavy hauling, I don't usually put the air gauge on anything but the trailer. All my trailers have PSI air gauges on them, and you can pretty well closely guess. Some of my trucks have, you know, there's room for more gauges here, and we need to put some more gauges in. Eventually we'll get there, you know, one thing at a time. Actually, the stereo, I think, is stock from 1998 and is better than the ones that I have in my Freightliner Cascadias. Just I immediately, when I found these trucks, just immediately told the guy, no, I'll drive them. Everybody's kind of skeptical about them at first. Even I was. You know, one of them cost me a lot of money. The other one that's not so good, that, you know, paid less than 20 grand for, is working and running, for making money for us right now. And so there's nothing wrong with it. It needs some really mainly just cosmetic. You know, it didn't just get the rebuild, and you know, this is a cat. I don't know how much it really needed a rebuild. But tell me what it is. Unibuilt sleeper is cool, man. All right, guys, grow the farm up. Get back to my project.